Hi, I'm Leslie Palma with Priests for Life, here with your pro-life news break. The Guttmacher Institute this week released a report showing that while the number of surgical abortions held steady from 2023 to 2024, the number of women traveling out of state decreased 9%. That sounds like the tiniest sliver of a silver lining, but in fact it means more women in states where babies are protected from abortion subjected themselves to the pain, trauma, and uncertainty of chemical abortion by ordering the deadly drugs from out-of-state suppliers. There's no way to keep track of those. Overall, pro-abortion Guttmacher reported that 1,038,100 abortions took place last year in the U.S. States with protective laws saw steep declines in abortion, with Florida leading the way. States seeing the most abortion tourists were Illinois, Kansas, and New Mexico. To counter that deadly trend in New Mexico, a pro-life coalition there has started a billboard campaign to persuade mothers to turn around and go back home. One billboard along the Texas-New Mexico border contains a message from an unborn child to her mother, urging mom to be brave and turn around. Tara Shaver of Abortion Free New Mexico told the Santa Fe New Mexican that we are there to advocate for the mom and say, hey, whatever you're facing, we can help you. There are resources that you probably don't know about, and we want to help you find a better way. Since 2022, surgical abortion businesses in New Mexico have increased from 3 to 7. Pro-lifers say most of the license plates they see in killing center parking lots are from Texas. A federal judge in North Dakota has ruled that the Catholic Benefits Association and the Diocese of Bismarck do not have to abide by regulations requiring accommodations for employees seeking abortions. During the Biden administration, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission ruled that the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act, which requires employers to make reasonable accommodations for pregnancy and childbirth-related needs, included abortion. The Catholic groups challenged the rule, with U.S. District Judge Daniel Traynor on Tuesday issuing a permanent injunction barring enforcement. Traynor, appointed to the federal bench during President Trump's first term, said in his ruling that it is a precarious time for people of religious faith in America, thanks to, quote, the repeated illegal and unconstitutional administrative actions against one of the founding principles of our country, the free exercise of religion. The Washington state legislature has sent Governor Bob Ferguson a bill that critics say legalizes infanticide in the state. The bill repeals the crime of concealing a birth and removes death investigators' jurisdiction over stillbirths, abortions, and premature infant deaths unless there is suspicion of criminal activity. Seattle talk show radio host Jason Rantz said the bill doesn't bring dignity to pregnancy loss. It brings darkness, secrecy, and the disturbing reality that in Washington state, babies can be born, die, and be swept under the rug without anyone daring to ask why. But they call this progress. No word on whether or when Ferguson, a Democrat in his first term, will sign the bill. The Missouri House has approved a proposed constitutional amendment that would protect most babies in the state from abortion. The legislation must be approved by the House one more time before it goes to the Senate. Missouri was one of the states that last November passed an amendment imposing a right to abortion in the state constitution, in effect overturning a state law that allowed abortion only under limited circumstances. If passed by the Senate and then by voters, the new amendment would reinstate the protective law, this time with exceptions for pregnancies caused by rape and incest. Laws protecting babies from abortion in Wyoming that were struck down by a state judge were the subject of oral arguments Wednesday in the Wyoming Supreme Court. One law under debate allowed abortion only to protect a mother's life or for pregnancies caused by rape and incest, and the other would have made Wyoming the only state to explicitly ban abortion pills. Last November, Teton County District Judge Melissa Owens struck down the laws, saying they violated a constitutional amendment passed in 2012 that said adults have the right to make their own healthcare decisions. The state Supreme Court will have the final word. Republican Congressman Chip Roy of Texas and Andy Biggs of Arizona want the FBI to look into the circumstances of the abortions that killed late-term babies who have come to be known as the DC-5. The bodies of the babies were discovered by pro-lifers outside a DC abortion business, and their late stage of development suggested the abortionists had overlooked the nationwide partial birth abortion ban and the Born Alive Infants Protection Act. Serious questions remain surrounding the death of these children, the congressman wrote. That's some of what's making news this week. Thank you for tuning in. If you would like to keep up with our press releases and commentary, go to prolife.press or scan the barcode on your screen. Have a blessed Easter, and please remember always that life is the only choice.
The holy season of Lent calls us to repentance and holiness as we prepare to celebrate the Paschal mystery. Christ's death and resurrection makes us the people of life. The Tree of Life provides prayers and reflections that show the connections between Lent and our commitment to defend the unborn. Please scan the QR code to order yours now.
Hello, this is Father David Begany, one of the many members of Priests for Life. Prayer is the foundation of the pro-life movement. I invite you to join Priests for Life in prayer each day for an end to abortion. We have many different prayer campaigns throughout the year, and you can find them all at prayercampaign.org. Please sign up with us to be a regular prayer partner. God bless you.
Hello, I'm Sam Brownback, and I've worked alongside Father Frank Pavone for many years on the cause of life. He's a true champion, and the Priests for Life have been wonderful champions of this great cause, of the cause of human dignity of every human at every phase of life, from the very first moment of conception until its natural death. The human species, the human person, each and every one are full of dignity, priceless in value, and Priests for Life stand for that. Join their work with them, work alongside them in this battle, this incredible battle, this fantastically important battle for life in the United States. We've got to win this fight.